artists understand where their monthly money is coming from, right? And who's collecting that money and all of that. So let's talk about the other side of this, which is metadata, which is very important, which is something that the artist can figure out and fix at his end every time he records a song. So we've been working on this together. I would like you to talk about where the standardization of that is and the beginning of it. How does metadata impact an artist?
Yeah. So I think the problem statement should be delivered first, which is that it's very difficult to identify songs because a lot of reports that come in, especially from platforms and radio stations and television stations, etc., into the copyright societies, is very incomplete. So I have seen reports from radio which give the name of the song and maybe the name of the artist, and that's it. So when you
Not even the label.
You have I Love You by John Smith.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. So now which I Love You and which John Smith? And today I remember reading that there are 28 million songs across the world that have been paid for by the users. The money sitting at copyright societies who don't know whom to pay.
My God, 28 million.
They don't know composer, they don't know author, they don't know label, they don't know publisher.
And this is because they haven't registered. They don't have their.
They are registered, but poor metadata.
They've not entered the
that is causing the problem.
Right.
So 3.5, 4 years ago, right, I was asked to head the music and sound sector of the Bureau of Indian Standards. And the whole thing was, what is the immediate problem that the music industry faces? So this was my first one, saying that, listen, it's about the metadata, the completeness of the metadata. So let's create a standard, and it's not complicated at all. It's very simple. Create a standard, because there are ISO standards, there are global standards, numbers that are issued to different people depending on their capacities. Capacities meaning what you do. So a composer and an author gets an IPI number. That's the intellectual property identifier.
And who do you register with for this?
So we'll get to that. So
okay, sorry.
There's the IPI number, which is the composer, author, and publisher's number. Okay, so you've got the composition covered. Then you have the recording, which has an ISRC. Okay, then you have the performer. So Mr. John Smith has an IPN number, which is how you distinguish one Mr. John Smith from the second John Smith. It's like your Aadhaar card number. And last but not least is the composition and lyric combination, which creates what is called the ISWC, the International Standard Works Code. Most metadata today will have an ISRC. A lot of it will have an IPI. All of it does not have an IPN. Hardly any has an ISWC.
Oh, really? Hardly any.
And the question then is that if you're doing a version of, let's say, a song like Chura Liya Hai Tumne Jo Dil Ko. How do you know that the composer, author, and publisher are getting paid correctly?
You don't know.
In the absence of the metadata. Right? So therefore, what we decided at the the Bureau of Indian Standards, the recommendation went in saying that we need to standardize the metadata. And obviously, this is an industry issue. And interestingly, no other country in the world had even talked about it at that time. Right? So we were the first off the block, and it took a long time. It's taken 3.5 years. And obviously the issue was, who will write up the document? So while I did go around and meet all the players, from the labels to the publishers to the platforms, etc., all of you whom said it was a great idea. And they had various points which we took into consideration and all that. But everyone agreed it was a great idea. So I said, yeah, let's go ahead.
Let's do it.
But then the BIS needs a document written for that. And I said, who's going to write the document? And they said, you. Then I got clever. And Jyoti's teacher at the University of Westminster in her business course happens to be an ex-colleague from Saregama. And she said, hey, listen, there are some Indian kids in my class. They want to talk to you and meet you and all. I said, I'll talk to them only if they write me a document. And I said, can you imagine how it look on their CV if they say, a document for the Bureau of Indian Standards? And that's exactly what Jyoti and 5 of her classmates did.
Yes.
They helped put together, and it was a very extensive document, by the way. So that 85-page document that you wrote right, has now been whittled down to 11 pages.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the same time, we did have a law firm. So Tin Nuts, Rafael Pereira, his company wrote up a shorter document. I think theirs was only about 30 odd pages. And then I sat with the documents, and with the BIS, we brought it down to 11 pages. It's
Amazing.
it's going through a process at the moment where the labels and the platforms, etc., are just going over it once or twice to make sure that we're not recommending something we can't implement.
Yeah, that's
But I
important.
think in the coming year, the standard will roll out, and hopefully the practice will also start. So the metadata is critical because there's going to be an explosion of songs coming.
Yes.
There'll be AI generated songs,
Oh
half
God.
AI, half not AI. So unless we put the identifiers in place, this not being able to recognize songs problem is only going to increase. So therefore, it's very critical that we get the metadata in place. And while we're talking about it, my fantasy is the next step is to then create a standard for fingerprinting systems. So that as soon as a song is uploaded into the internet, whether on through a distributor or onto a platform directly, they have a fingerprinting system which complies with a certain standard. It ticks, let's say, 4 or 5 boxes.
Yeah.
It'll immediately identify if it's genuine or it's pirated. It'll identify if it's AI generated or not AI generated. Right?
Oh,
And
nice.
because you've done the hard work with the metadata, pointed to the correct metadata. So interestingly, at the Bureau of Indian Standards, they have a media and entertainment sector. So music and sound sector is only part of that. So in the larger scheme of things, there's television.
Yeah.
And a gentleman called Paritosh Saha from Star TV, Geo Star now. So individually, so I was talking about the audio part of it. He raised the audiovisual part of it. So we met the other day, and it doesn't make sense to try and create two standards. You'll create a standard which will take care of audio
All
and
of it. Yeah.
audiovisual. And also remember, because music also has its own visuals. The music videos are visual.
Very integral parts. Yeah.
So the thing is, it's a very slow process. We have to get inclusion by many players, etc. It is a slow process, but I'm very hopeful that once this is done, then a lot of the issues that we face in the industry today, and the main issues being for smaller writers, composers, performers, musicians, let them get paid correctly at least.
Yeah, that's so important. So they have to each song should have an IPI, IPN, ISWC, ISRC.
Correct.
So now please tell us who registers with which organization for each.
So like I said, there are two parts to the business. One is the publishing, one is the sound recording.
Yeah.
The publishing bits for the societies that handle publishing are the equivalents of, we have the IPRS in India and we have the equivalents across the world, right? So you have the PRS in the UK, you have GEMA in Germany, JASRAC in Japan, etc. So it is the IPRS in India, the Indian Performing Rights Society, which registers the composition and lyrics, identifying the composer, author, and publisher.
Yeah.
Okay, so you register with them. And remember, if you're not registered with a society, you will not get an IPI. Right? Without the IPI, you can't get paid because they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Right? So it's critical for composers and authors to register with the society and get paid.
Yeah.
The other part is the publisher who has a separate number.
Yeah.
The IPI chain of numbers, different for composers and different for publishers.
Right.
So if you're an independent artist self-releasing music, right, please register twice at IPRS.
Okay. As a publisher and as an author.
That's right. So that because all societies globally are mandated to pay 50% to the composer, author, and 50% to the publisher for the performing right.
Yeah.
If you're not registered, as a publisher, that money won't come to you.
Yeah.
And in a lot of societies, mechanicals are paid 100% to the publisher. And if you're not registered as a publisher, you won't get it. Right?
Yeah.
In India, it's different because in India, the law says everything is 50-50. Mechanical, performing, etc.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
So even if you're not registered separately as a publisher, your author's 50% will come to you. Composer 50% will come to you. But you're still losing 50.
Yeah. Why? Okay. So you have to get two numbers.
Because you've not registered, you're lazy, sir.
It's not that much work, guys. Just do it.
It's very simple.
Yeah. So then how does the IPI work?
Yeah. So then there is the IPI which identifies the composer, author, and publisher.
Yeah.
And once all the elements are in place, then the work gets the ISWC.
Right.
So Churalia can be identified every time a recording is done. It can be identified and paid for. People write Churalia with Churalia, right? So if the metadata contains the ISWC, then you get paid correctly. So that takes care of the publishing part of it.
So every time you write a song, you register that, uske composition or lyrics, and get the ISWC for that.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have the recording bit of it. And the recording, when you load it into a distribution system, right, an ISRC is generated. So your distributor will do it if you're not a large company. If you're a large company, then you're a member of the IMI and you have a series and you generate your own ISRC.
Okay.
Not, and a lot of young artists are not, obviously.
Yeah.
So the distributor does it for you.
Okay.
You'll get an ISRC the minute you put it into the distribution system. And now you have another society, which is the Performer Society. Right? It's called the ISAMRA.
ISAMRA, yeah.
Indian Singers and
Musicians.
Right.
Something.
Recording.
Recording.
Okay. So ISAMRA issues the IPN. And remember, like the IPI, an IPI is a one-time Aadhaar number. The IPN is similar. So once you have the IPN, you don't need to keep going back to get the number for the new recording, right? The old IPN, you just keep populating the metadata with. So IPN and ISRC will take care of the recording part of it. One comes from the distributor, or if you're a big enough label, you'll generate it yourself.
Yeah.
And the IPN comes from the ISAMRA, from the Performance Society, the equivalent.
Okay. Once you have all these 4 identifiers, you are covered. You will get your royalties whenever something happens. I feel that for an independent artist, there is one artist I can think of who actually started his own publishing, company so he could self-publish and claim the publishing part of it as well.
It's not required for you to open a company to be a publisher.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. You can own the publishing as an independent artist. But it's just that the numbers are separate because every copyright law states that a human being has to create the work.
Yes.
Whereas if you open a publishing company, so for example, T-Series can't compose a song.
Yeah.
T-Series can be the publisher of a song.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore, your numbers are different. You identify publishers differently from composers, authors who are human beings.
Okay. No, I think the thinking was that 50 goes to a publisher, 50 goes to authors. So just to make sure I get all the 100, I'm going to be my own publisher.
You can do it yourself. You don't have to have a company that does it.
Okay.
Once you register and you say Atul Churamani publisher, as opposed to Atul Churamani composer and author, Atul Churamani will get the money of the publisher.
Okay. So it needn't be so much.
It's not difficult.
Complex. Yeah. Okay, so I feel that any artist who wants to release music, they have to do it through a distributor anyway, so they'll get that ISRC, but they should register for the IPN. They should get the IPIs as a publisher and as an author, and whenever they make a song, they have to get that ISWC.
That's the society. So basically, when you upload music into a distribution system, you have to have the IPI and the IPN in advance. The ISRC gets generated from there. And in the old days, the ISWC used to take a long time. But CSAC, which is the confederation that governs all copyright societies, have now started iswc.org.
Okay.
But you don't need to write to isw.org. You go to IPRS. And if you tell IPRS that, listen, this is my song, this is the metadata, I want the ISWC, they can give it to you within 48 hours. So you can easily do that before you know when you're going to release the song, you know when you're going to put it into distribution. So just take 2 days before that to put it into IPRS, into the IPRS system.
Okay.
Right? And you'll get the ISWC.
I'm listening to it. I'm not even an artist, and I'm only feeling like this is too much work. So I get it. It is daunting.
It's not, but again, I keep saying that it's not DIY. It's UIY.
UIY. Yes, I heard you say this.
Understand it yourself and then get people to do the work for you.
Yes.
Because there are companies, I mean, they're doing business, distribution is done. You're happy to give distribution out to people.
Yeah.
But then you'll sit on top of their heads and say, Mera playlist nahi hai, mera ye nahi hai, mera wo nahi. Tum apna kaam karo, yaar.
Music banao.
Music banao. Jaake shows karo, because you asking about the money. The money for the shows, right?
I agree. This is why I think people should come to you and Turnkey, because it takes so much stress off your mind, and so anyway, that was just something in my mind that I wanted to drive home in this conversation, because artists are constantly feeling like understanding the business is important, but how do I then execute everything I've understood? You don't have to execute it all yourself.
So while all business entities are bad people according to artists, I can also tell you that we've signed artists. It's been 7 months with one. It's been about 5 months with another. We haven't got an ounce of metadata.
What?
What are we supposed to do? We are publishers, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that we will see in terms of money normally will come from IPRS.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to register the songs. There's no metadata.
Oh, this is basic. Like mastering a song is basic. No, you have to
Correct.
get the metadata for it.
And then you'll say, I signed with the publisher, साला कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. ढेला नहीं मिला उधर से.
Oh God, guys, you have to get the metadata. Like I've heard you say this before. Mix master nahi karoge gaane ko, you have to, right? So the same thing. It's hygiene. Yeah. Basic hygiene. Okay.